Following breaking news out of New York, where a hearing on the Justice Department's effort to dismiss corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams just wrapped up. The judge pressed acting Deputy Attorney General Emily Ngo about why these charges should be dismissed. Ngo said it was a matter of, quote, national security because the charges would hinder the mayor's ability to assist the federal government with its crackdown on immigration. Adams' attorney insisted there was no quid pro quo agreement with the White House on that issue. Even if the judge agrees to dismiss the charges, Adams' political future still remains very much in question. New York's Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul met with New York City leaders yesterday as she decides whether to exercise her authority to remove the mayor from office. NBC News law enforcement and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter joins me now. Also with me is Emily Ngo, co-author of Politico's New York Playbook. Thanks to both of you for joining me. Really appreciate it. So, Tom, take us inside the courtroom. What happened today?
Yeah, so all the parties got into the courtroom about 10 minutes before we began, around 2 o'clock. Hearing barely lasted 90 minutes, Kristen. And basically, what both parties were trying to say and what Emily Ngo, in his role here previously as a unit chief in the Southern District of New York and somebody who presented a number of cases, a number of prosecutions, went just straight to the most simplest explanation and the simplest message to the judge, which is, look, this is a basic motion that we file, we being the Justice Department, file all the time. It's a Rule 48 motion for us to be able to dismiss the case without prejudice. There's really no question here. We're not saying that we're tossing this case permanently. We're not telling you that we are tossing it under certain conditions. To your point, the judge specifically asked under oath the mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams, whether anything had been promised to him, written or otherwise, whether there was any sort of an agreement that was in place, whether he had been threatened. And all across it, the mayor said, no, that wasn't the case at all. And so what Ngo was trying to do is simply say, look, this is something we do all the time. We can still revisit this issue. And so from a court's perspective, it's his belief that this case should be dismissed and that should be dismissed quickly because he's trying to make the argument, whether or not people believe it or not, but he's trying to make the argument. By the way, he doesn't necessarily need to prove that to the judge, that this is a national security concern. He admits it's not something that's come up with public officials before, at least that he's aware of. But he's trying to say, look, we've got to do what we've got to do on immigration. We've got to do what we've got to do from a national security standpoint. And we got to just get this thing decided. Obviously, the mayor's attorney not going to dispute any of that. He did obviously dispute the idea of a quid pro quo that you alluded to. So the judge just says, look, I don't want to shoot from the hip here on the bench. Literally said that. He said, I wanted the opportunity to review all this and make a ruling on it. He had not ruled previously from the bench in this case up until this point, Kristen. So that's not totally surprising. Those seem to shut down the notion of any further inquiry or at least did not allude to any additional issues that he's likely to bring up.
Well, Tom Winter, always appreciate your reporting. I know it's very chilly outside, so thank you for bringing us all of that great insight. Really appreciate it. Bring us any updates as you get them. Emily, let me turn to you because Governor Hochul does technically have the ability to remove Mayor Adams. What are you hearing? What are your sources telling you about her potential plans?
Yeah, hi, Kristen. Sources telling us that the governor is giving every indication to her allies and those who have been meeting with her that she may slow walk this decision. It had been largely dependent on what federal district judge Dale Ho that Tom was talking about would decide. And since no decision came from the bench today, I expect that there'll be more waiting and watching and seeing. Please excuse the noise at City Hall. We just haven't had a quiet day here in quite some time, especially his last couple of months as the mayor faced charges, as he faced the prospect that he could be pardoned by President Trump, that then the order came down that the charges should be dropped. An enlightening statement came from Ngo after this hearing, a written statement, if I may read a little bit, that said that he asked Americans to join him in making America safe again. And quote, for those who do not support our critical mission, I understand there are templates for resignation letters available on the websites of the New York Times and CNN, effectively daring those who might stand up to what he and the president believe in to resign, like so many have done, and cause this avalanche of chaos, beginning with Danielle Sassoon last Thursday, the acting U.S. attorney for Manhattan, who resigned rather than follow through on orders to drop the case against Mayor Adams.
So many fast-moving, really dramatic developments there, Emily. Let me just ask you, because it's notable, you're saying your sources are telling you the governor will likely slow walk this decision. Can Eric Adams continue to be effective as mayor after all of these developments this past week?
The case could have been made that the government is still by and large largely functioning and taking care of the city of 8 million people if he had his deputies in place. But we know now that four of his deputy mayors are planning to retire. That date hasn't yet been set. So we're leaving a void here in government. And certainly Governor Hochul is looking to Black Democrats and Black elected officials around the city to help her make this decision on how to approach removal of the mayor, if indeed that's where she wants to take it.
Let me ask you about another piece of this, which is 5 days ago, the mayor allowed ICE agents into Rikers Island. Do we know if there are any additional plans? What's the status?
So this is what he presented as a pending executive order to return ICE to an office on Rikers Island, which they previously held before the city's sanctuary city laws were beefed up under his predecessor, Bill de Blasio. That is a little bit of wait and see as well, because he needs to draft that order. Certainly there's pushback on the part of the city council, who has resisted his efforts to loosen sanctuary laws that restrict cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration officers. They don't want those laws changed. I should note also that there has been a movement that we at Politico have been covering to draft the city council speaker, Adrian Adams, to run for mayor against Eric Adams, potentially against former Governor Andrew Cuomo, too, if indeed he gets in the ring, as we expect he will.
Okay, Emily Ngo, thank you so much, as always. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.